Stop scrolling. What you are about to hear detonated the internet in seconds and left powerful people scrambling in silence. A single live stream. A single sentence. And suddenly every timeline froze. Because tonight, Erika Kirk didn't hint, didn't tease, didn't backpedal. She unmasked Candace Owens on camera and claimed the truth has been buried for years. Viewers watched her stare straight into the lens and say she was done protecting lies, done swallowing fear, done staying quiet. Then she dropped the line that hit like a thunderclap. The night before Charlie died, he warned her about Candace. Screenshots. Messages. Recordings. She says she has them all, locked away, ready to explode if anyone tries to silence her. Within minutes, clips went viral, hashtags ignited, and insiders started panicking behind closed doors. What did Candace know? Why was Arizona suddenly trending? And why are deleted messages reappearing from the cloud like ghosts? Erika claims secret meetings, coded projects, and a betrayal so deep it rewrites everything we thought we knew. She promises names. She promises proof. And she promises the next drop will end careers. Phones are ringing. Lawyers are dialing. Fans are melting down. And the most terrifying part. This is only the beginning. Because if even half of what Erika is claiming is true, then this isn't drama. It's a cover-up collapsing in real time. Stay right here, because the truth she's about to unleash is bigger, darker, and far more explosive than anyone is ready for right now. Before anyone could spin it, before anyone could deny it, Erika Kirk went live and shattered the illusion everyone had been clinging to. Her face wasn't tearful. It wasn't shaky. It was calm in a way that terrified people who understood what calm really meant. She said she had spent years watching lies multiply while her silence was mistaken for guilt. And tonight she was done letting others write her story. She claimed Candace Owens didn't just misunderstand her, didn't just criticize her, but actively worked to destroy her behind the scenes. The chat moved so fast it blurred, but Erika didn't look away once. She said there were messages Candace never wanted exposed, conversations hidden in deleted threads, warnings whispered in private while smiles were worn in public. Then she said the line that cracked everything open. Charlie warned me about her. The internet froze, then erupted. According to Erika, the tension didn't start after Charlie's death. It started long before, in rooms nobody filmed and conversations nobody recorded. She described how Candace's tone would change when cameras were off, how questions turned into accusations, how concern slowly became control. Candace, she said, didn't trust her from the beginning and made sure others didn't either. Producers noticed the cold shoulders. Assistants overheard whispers. Donors were quietly warned. Erika said she played along, believing professionalism would outlast pettiness, but Candace was already planting seeds. She claimed Candace framed her as ambitious in the ugliest way possible, implying she was overstepping, manipulating, reaching for influence that wasn't hers to have. Things escalated weeks before everything fell apart. Erika revealed there was a private confrontation between Candace and Charlie that left staff shaken. Raised voices. Closed doors. Accusations thrown with no witnesses inside the room, but plenty outside. Candace allegedly told Charlie that Erika was interfering with things she didn't understand, that she was talking to people she shouldn't be talking to. Charlie brushed it off at first, believing it was tension, jealousy, ego. But Candace didn't stop. She followed up with long messages filled with urgency and warning, framing herself as the only one brave enough to say what others wouldn't. Erika didn't see those messages at first, but she felt the aftermath immediately. Charlie changed. That's how Erika described it. Subtle at first, then impossible to ignore. He stopped looping her into meetings. He went quiet at night, scrolling through his phone like he was searching for answers he didn't want to find. When she asked what was wrong, he insisted everything was fine, but his distance told a different story. Erika said the shift coincided exactly with Candace's warnings. Then came the moment that shook her. Charlie asked her not to attend certain meetings anymore. Meetings she had always been part of. When she pressed him, he deflected, saying it was temporary, strategic, nothing personal. She said she knew it was a lie. The night before everything changed, Erika confronted him again. This time, he didn't dodge. He told her flatly that he didn't want her talking to Candace anymore. That sentence stunned her because Charlie had never tried to control her relationships before. When she asked why, he hesitated, then said Candace was stirring things up and it wasn't safe. Safe from what? Erika asked. He didn't answer. Later that night, while he was in the shower, Erika admitted she looked at his phone. She saw Candace's name. Long paragraphs. Concern wrapped in authority. And one deleted message preview that hit her like a punch. You need to decide if Erika is helping your mission or hurting it. Erika said she confronted Charlie immediately. The argument that followed was the worst of their marriage. Charlie snapped, something she said he almost never did, accusing her of questioning him at the wrong time. He apologized later, but the damage was done. Doubt had been injected, and Candace knew exactly how to do it. Erika said she went to sleep that night feeling like someone had stepped between her and her husband without ever entering the room. The next morning, Charlie was distant, but gentle, almost like he was carrying something heavy he didn't want to drop on her. Before he left, he said something she has replayed every day since. Don't trust her right now. On the live stream, Erika paused after saying that, letting the silence stretch until it hurt. She said people had accused her of rewriting history, but she had stayed quiet, because she thought the truth would eventually surface on its own. She was wrong. She claimed Candace didn't wait until after Charlie's death to question her. She was already undermining her before it happened. Already isolating Charlie. Already positioning herself as the voice he should listen to instead. Erika said that realization was what finally broke her silence. She wasn't going to let Candace paint herself as a truth seeker when she had been influencing the narrative all along. Then Erika reached for her phone. The chat exploded. She said she was about to read the message Candace begged Charlie to delete. She didn't tease it. She didn't soften it. She read it exactly as it was written. Candace called her a problem. Candace warning that Erika was damaging the brand. Candace suggests Charlie create distance to regain control. Each line landed like a hammer. People watching couldn't believe the tone, the audacity, the intimacy of it. Erika's voice shook, not with sadness, but with fury. She said that message planted weeks of doubt and confusion in their marriage. But it wasn't over. Erika scrolled further and read the line that detonated everything. We can't risk Erika finding out what happened in Arizona. The reaction was instant chaos. Comments screamed the word Arizona over and over. Erika slammed her hand on the desk and said that was the moment she knew Candace wasn't investigating anything later. She was hiding something earlier. She accused Candace of secret meetings, coded projects, and manipulating access to information. She said Charlie began excluding her not because he wanted to, but because someone convinced him she was a liability. Erika claimed Charlie eventually realized he was being boxed in, but by then the pressure was intense. She said he told her Candace was involved in things she didn't understand, and that he didn't want to start a war inside the movement. That's why he stayed quiet. That's why he saved screenshots, instead of confronting her publicly. Erika said those screenshots were backed up automatically. Behind the scenes, the scramble was vicious. Phones rang non-stop. Assistants whispered. Lawyers demanded timestamps. The first question everyone asked was the same one nobody wanted to answer. How did Erika get those messages if they were deleted? That's when the second wave hit. An anonymous insider leaked that Charlie had backed up screenshots automatically, something Candace never accounted for. That detail alone flipped the narrative. Suddenly Erika wasn't the one digging for dirt. She was the one holding what Charlie intentionally saved. Then the whispers turned darker. Multiple insiders claimed Arizona wasn't a single meeting. It was a sequence. Different hotels. Different dates. Different people. All labeled under vague calendar entries and coded project names. One former staffer posted cryptically that Redline was never meant to be public-facing, and that Charlie had started pushing back once he realized how deep it went. Screenshots of old emails resurfaced, with words like containment, optics, and damage control highlighted in red. People began connecting dots that had never been connected before. Candace's studio reportedly went into lockdown mode. No posts. No tweets. No appearances. But behind the doors, sources claimed she was furious, not just scared. Furious that Erika had gone public. Furious that Charlie had saved anything. Furious that Arizona was being dragged into daylight. One assistant allegedly overheard Candace repeating the same sentence over and over. She doesn't understand what she's doing. But the internet didn't care what she understood. They cared about what she was hiding. And then, without warning, Erika appeared again. No countdown. No announcement. Just a notification and a live feed. Her face looked different this time. Heavier. Sharper. Like someone who had crossed a line and knew there was no way back. She said she hadn't planned to return so soon, but people had started lying already. She wasn't going to let that stand. She said she had seen posts accusing her of forging messages, manipulating screenshots, inventing Arizona to distract from her own issues. Her response was simple. I don't need to invent anything. Candace already wrote it all down. She opened her laptop and said she was releasing the second message. The chat exploded before she even read it. She warned viewers that once this name was out, there would be no pretending this was just a personal feud. She scrolled slowly, letting the tension choke the room. Then she read it. Candace warning Charlie to stay away from a specific person. Claiming this person was interfering, dangerous, manipulating Erika, threatening the movement. Erika paused, swallowed, and then said the name out loud. Mikey McCoy. The reaction was instant disbelief. Mikey wasn't a fringe figure. He was trusted. Respected. Someone Charlie leaned on. Erika said Candace framed Mikey as a threat, because he was asking questions nobody else would. She claimed Mikey warned Charlie about Redline long before she ever knew the name. She said Charlie trusted Mikey precisely, because he wasn't trying to control him. Then Erika read Charlie's response to Candace, and the chat went silent. Mikey is the only one telling me the truth. That sentence ripped through every theory at once. Erika didn't stop there. She said that 2 days after that message, Mikey vanished from internal communications. Emails unanswered. Calls ignored. Access quietly revoked. No announcement. No explanation. Just erased. She said Charlie noticed immediately and panicked. That was when he started talking about walking away. That was when he started saving messages. That was when he started warning her to be careful. Erika said Candace didn't want Mikey gone, because he was wrong. She wanted him gone, because he knew too much. As Erika spoke, other voices joined in without being invited. Old clips resurfaced of Charlie hinting at pressure, at projects that didn't align with his values. A voicemail leaked where he said he couldn't do Redline anymore. People stitched together timelines, showing Candace and Bridget in Arizona the same weeks Charlie grew distant. A former donor posted that they'd been asked to fund something they didn't fully understand, and when they asked questions, the tone shifted. Suddenly Redline wasn't just a word. It was a shadow stretching backward through everything. Candace finally broke her silence, but not publicly. She allegedly called in favors, demanded platforms, tried to frame Erika as unstable. But the counterpunch came fast. An audio file leaked, allegedly from someone who had been in the Arizona meetings. The voice shook, saying Charlie was boxed in, that he didn't like the direction things were going, that Candace kept saying it was for his own good. The internet lost it. Even people who wanted to defend her started hesitating. Erika addressed that audio directly. She said she hadn't released it yet, but confirmed its existence. She said Charlie felt betrayed, not by her, not by Mikey, but by people who claimed to protect him while cutting off anyone who questioned them. She said the Redline folder wasn't gossip. It was documentation. Agreements. Warnings. Messages. Names. She said Candace knew it existed, and that's why she was spiraling. Then Erika dropped another detail that sent chills through the chat. She said Charlie had labeled one file with Candace's initials himself. Not her. Him. And inside it was a message he never sent, but saved. A draft. Erika said she found it months later, and understood why he never hit send. Because it would have started a war he wasn't ready to fight. She didn't read it yet. She said that would come later. The anticipation was unbearable. As if the night couldn't get more unhinged, a notification chimed through Erika's speakers mid-sentence. She glanced at the screen and went quiet. The chat begged her to speak. She looked back at the camera and said someone had just sent her a video from Arizona. Not audio. Video. She said she hadn't watched it yet, but the timestamp matched the night everything shifted. Her voice lowered when she said this wasn't about embarrassing anyone anymore. This was about telling the truth Charlie didn't get to finish. She warned Candace directly, looking straight into the camera. She said trying to discredit her would only accelerate what was coming. She said the next release would answer why Mikey was cut off, what Redline really was, and what happened in Arizona that made everyone panic. She ended by saying she hoped Candace was ready to explain why she told Charlie to delete messages that proved everything. Then Erika did something nobody expected. She smiled, just slightly, and said the next message wasn't from Candace. It was from Mikey. The last one he ever sent Charlie. The screen cut. The chat froze. And the entire internet realized the next drop wouldn't just expose motives. It would expose consequences. By the time Erika returned for the third time, the internet was already in a state of controlled collapse. Nobody was sleeping. Nobody was waiting for mainstream confirmation. This story had outgrown fact-checkers and press releases. It was living, mutating, feeding on every second of silence. And when Erika's face appeared on screen again, there was no chaos in her expression. There was resolve. The kind that comes when someone knows they're about to burn the bridge behind them and doesn't care who's standing on it. She didn't greet the audience. She didn't thank anyone for support. She went straight to it. She said the last message Mikey McCoy sent Charlie had been sitting in the Redline folder like a time bomb, unopened, unread by anyone else, because Charlie didn't know who to trust with it. Erika said when she finally read it, months later, she understood why Charlie had grown distant, why he had started saying. Then Erika dropped the detail that made even her supporters uneasy. Mikey said there was a recording from Arizona. Not staged. Not secret. A recording Charlie didn't know existed at the time. Mikey warned him that if it ever surfaced, it would expose how aggressively he was being pushed and who was doing the pushing. Erika admitted she didn't know the full contents of that video until hours earlier. The file had been sent anonymously. No name. No message. Just a timestamp and coordinates that matched everything Mikey described. She said she watched it once and had to stop halfway through. Not because it was graphic, but because it was undeniable. The video allegedly showed a closed-door meeting where Charlie repeatedly expressed discomfort, where he said he wanted to slow down, and where Candace's voice could be heard insisting this was bigger than him, bigger than feelings, bigger than marriage. Erika didn't play the video. She said she wasn't ready to release it yet. But she confirmed its existence, and said Candace knew exactly what was on it. The reaction was nuclear. Candace's supporters scrambled to discredit everything at once. They claimed deep fakes. Editing. But then something unexpected happened. A former associate posted a cryptic message saying, "If Erika drops the Arizona footage, stop pretending this is fake." That person deleted the post within minutes, but screenshots spread faster than they could be erased. Another insider followed with a single sentence. Redline was real, and Charlie wanted out. Erika addressed Candace directly again. She said this wasn't revenge. It was unfinished business. She said Charlie didn't get to tell his side, because he was too busy trying to hold everything together without detonating the people around him. She said Candace had built her brand on exposing lies, but panicked when the spotlight turned inward. She said deleting messages doesn't erase intent, and controlling the narrative doesn't erase what happened in Arizona. Then came the emotional break that nobody expected. Erika's voice finally cracked. She said the hardest part wasn't the betrayal. It was realizing Charlie had been carrying all of it alone. That he tried to protect her by not telling her everything, even while people were telling him she was the problem. She said the Redline folder wasn't created out of paranoia. It was created out of fear. Fear that if anything happened to him, the truth would disappear with him. As if on cue, another notification popped up on Erika's screen. She looked at it, nodded slowly, and said this was confirmation from someone who had been present at the Arizona meetings that the video was real. That person didn't want to be named yet. She said more people were reaching out now that silence was no longer safe. She said this always happens when the first domino falls. People realize hiding didn't protect them. It only delayed the fallout. The internet reacted like it always does when power cracks. People who stayed quiet for years suddenly found their voices. Old interviews were re-watched with new context. Clips of Candace talking about loyalty and truth were spliced next to Erika's receipts. Even neutral observers started saying the same thing. If none of this were true, Candace would have shut it down already. The absence of denial became the loudest statement of all. Erika ended the stream by saying she wasn't done, but she wasn't rushing either. She said the truth doesn't need speed. It needs clarity. She said the Redline folder would be released piece by piece, with context, with timestamps, with verification, because Charlie deserved that much. She said the Arizona video would come last, because once people saw it, there would be no pretending this was just gossip. Her final words were quiet, but devastating. She said Charlie trusted the wrong people, because he believed they wanted the same thing he did. She said she trusted silence would protect them. They were both wrong. The stream cut without music, without graphics, without warning. And that's where everything stands now. Candace Owens silent. Erika Kirk holding a folder full of receipts. Mikey McCoy's warning echoing across every platform. Arizona is no longer a rumor, but a looming shadow. Redline is no longer a theory, but a documented operation with names attached. This isn't about who wins an argument anymore. It's about who survives the truth when it finally stops being negotiable. If you made it this far, you already know this isn't just another viral story you casually forget tomorrow. This is one of those moments people will point back to and say, that's when everything cracked. And what happens next depends on who's paying attention right now. Silence is how stories like this get buried. Engagement is how they stay alive. If you don't react, if you don't speak, if you don't lock in for what comes next, the narrative will get rewritten by the loudest liars in the room. So don't let that happen. Hit like, because this wasn't easy to watch and it wasn't meant to be. That button tells the algorithm this story matters and forces it onto screens that haven't seen it yet. Drop a comment with your theory, your reaction, your gut feeling, because the comments are where patterns emerge and where the next clues always surface first. Read what others are saying. Challenge it. Add to it. This story is evolving in real time. And most importantly, subscribe with notifications on. Not later. Not after the next clip goes viral. Now. Because the next drop won't come with a warning. When the Redline folder starts opening piece by piece, when the Arizona footage finally surfaces, when names stop being blurred and start being spoken clearly, you don't want to hear about it secondhand. This isn't just content anymore. It's a countdown. And if you blink, you will miss the moment everything changes.